Shema Yasharala Yahweh Allahaya Nawa Yahweh Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. So, first and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to the Most High God Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Today's lesson is going to be over voting, and is voting a sin? Should we be voting as Israelites? Now that you know that you're an Israelite, are you supposed to be voting? I'm going to start off with what a sin is. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So sin is breaking God's law. The law that he set up from the very beginning, it says that sin is transgression, meaning breaking, going away from. So sin is going away from or breaking God's law. Okay, so that's what sin is, breaking God's law. This is Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Deuteronomy 17 and 15. It says, Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. It says, Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren. So it's telling you who you're supposed to choose, how you're supposed to know who you're supposed to choose to vote for, or set up over you, to rule over you, right? It says, one from among thy brethren shall thy set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So if you're setting up somebody from another nation that's not your people, you're not supposed to be voting for them, right? You're supposed to set up a king or a ruler over you from your own people. That's who you're supposed to be setting up as a king or a president. That's what they would call it these days, right? Ultimately, we know it's Yahweh Shai. You know it's Christ, his son, Yahweh's son, the Father's son. That's who you're supposed to be setting up over you, right? But it's supposed to be a brother from amongst your people, not a stranger, not someone of another nation, right? So Biden and Trump, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be voting for those people that are from another nation. That's strictly, thus saith the law. Thus saith the Lord. That's literally what he's saying. Let's go to Jeremiah 17 and 5. Jeremiah 17 and 5. It says, Thus said the Lord, curse be the man that trusteth in man. The Most High God said, curse be the man that trusteth in man. People out there voting, putting their trust in these people, setting presidents up over them, believing that the president is going to change something for them. The presidents of America has never changed anything for us. Obama actually made things worse. So presidents, they haven't changed anything for us as a people, as black people, right? It says, Thus saith the Lord, curse be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, making people that they see and touch their strength. It says, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. So you trusted in a man to save you, you've departed from the Lord, right? Let's get the book of Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 16. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, the anger of the Lord have divided them. The anger of the Lord have divided them. It says, he will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders. So the people that the Most High God set up over the Israelites, they didn't respect them nor regard them, right? They violated the law in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 17. They violated that law. They didn't trust the people that the Most High God set up to speak the words of the Father, right? Because we know that the Most High God ordained people over other people to teach, to rule, right? It says, verse 17, it says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain hope. It says, in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. So we were watching for a nation that couldn't save us. People are out there literally watching the TV to see if these people are going to make a difference or a change better for us as a people. those people are not going to save you. They're not doing nothing good for you, right? Stop voting. Stop voting for people that the Most High God didn't choose or command you to be ruling over you, right? This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 14. This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 14. It says, thou didst strike through with his steves and the head of his village. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly, right? So their whole plan is to divide the poor secretly. That's what their whole plan is, and that's what it's been. It's been to devour or to devour the poor secretly, and that's always been their goal. That's always been the goal of the other nations, is to devour the poor. You know what I'm saying? Make the taxes go up, tax you for everything, right? Put you against one another. Okay? It says to devour the poor secretly. I'm going to go to the book of First Maccabees chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 41. Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. It reads, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So we know what this sounds like. This sounds like something that people have been talking about, one world order, right? It says that all should be one people. It says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. It says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his reign. So the heathens agreed to the commandments of that king, and many of the Israelites consented with that king, which is what's happening right now. It says, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. We already know this is happening. We already know people are worshiping other idols. They're agreeing and worshiping and putting their respect and reverence unto crosses, wooden crosses or stones, and to other idols. It says, and profane the Sabbath. The Most High God set up the Sabbath for you to be keeping the Sabbath day on the seventh day of the week. Okay? But they profaned it, making it the first day of the week. This is Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 17. Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 17. It says, and let none of you imagine evil in your heart against his neighbor, and love no false oaths. So we're not supposed to love false oaths or false hopes, false agreements, right? We know that, what's his name? President Obama was always talking about hope, and he got the whole country involved in this false hope, right? But this is talking about a false oath, right? A false agreement. You're not supposed to agree with your enemies. It says, and despise the other. It says, ye cannot serve God and manna, right? You cannot serve God and manna. You cannot be, Salakia. Let me reread that. Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 17. Zechariah 8 and 17. And let none of you imagine evil in your heart against your neighbor, meaning your people, your own people, your brother. It says, and love no false oath, for all these are things that I hate, saith the Lord. So this is what the Most High God hates. So if you're out there making false oaths, are agreeing with false oaths, loving false oaths, are hating, are imagining evil against your people, this is something that the Most High God hates. Salakia, I want to get Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 5. Again, it says, thou shalt not anywise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shall thy set king over thee. So who should you set a king over you? One from among your brethren, your people. It says, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, right? You should not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. I'm going to go to the book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24, it says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. So whoever you're siding with is what you're agreeing to. You're agreeing to what those presidents agreed to, what they set up their terms. So you're not agreeing with the Most High God anymore. You're agreeing with the president of another nation, a man of another nation. That's who you're agreeing with, who you're siding with. Okay? And the Most High God is taking note of this. This is the book of Revelations chapter 18 and verse 4. Revelations chapter 18 and verse 4, it says, and I heard another voice coming from heaven, saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye shall receive none of her plagues. So you don't want to agree with this country. You know, this is talking about spiritually. You don't want to agree with this country. You don't want to partake in their sins, because if you do, you're going to partake in their sins. And the Most High God is going to count you for partaking with them. So he's going to count you as them. He's going to count you as them. Again, I heard a voice come out of heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive none of her plagues. So if you are agreeing with them, you're going to receive their sins. You're going to receive what's just for them, and you're going to be counted with them, right? So we should not be voting. It's just a quick little video, just telling our people who should they be voting. Is voting a sin? Voting is a sin. If it's not of your own people, which the ultimate person we're supposed to be voting for only is Yahweh Shai, right? So we should not be voting. This should not be partaking in this vote at all, period. So with that, I'm going to give all praises and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, Shema Yasharala Yahweh, Alahaya Nawa Yahweh Akkad, Yahweh, which is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, Yahweh. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom, Wabrak, Mashpaka. Shalom.